great horse. That man. Oh,
yeah. Taking a hold down there.
Folks, it's not just rodeo here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, it's entertainment. One of the many aspects of the entertainment here is the chuck wagon. Now you're looking for the back of the chuck wagon. They call it the Thunder from the North here in Cheyenne Frontier Days. We move on now to saddle bronc riding. And here is the score after Section 1 with Jess Martin leading, 77 points. Skeeter Thurston behind him, 74. You see the rest of the field in saddle bronc competition. Again, that's Section 1 that you're looking at as a result. And first up is Justin Lane. He is riding on Prairie Chicken.
Justin Lane won over $1,500 in the second go-around. Finished 22nd last year in the world standings. I'm sure he'd like to improve on that. It's a good opportunity for him to do that right now. Again, that markout roll, he's picked up the timing really great on the horse. Look at the style of that horse, snapping, kicking out real hard. Good classic ride right there. Should be a pretty decent score.
We're in second section here in saddle bronc riding. Justin Lane, and another look at his ride on Prairie Chicken.
Horse was real snappy, and Justin definitely got in time and got in rhythm. I like to see that. Like I said before, when these guys get in rhythm, it's kind of like sitting in a rocking chair. Saddle bronc riding, one of the hardest events to actually get down. And once the guys get it down, they can definitely be consistent in this event.
Score of 75 for Justin Lane. Good score for him. That's the first cowboy here. The second one up is Denny Hay, and he's riding on Round Top.
Two-time qualifier for the National Finals Rodeo. He's currently in 8th place in the Crown Royal World Standings. He's won over $260,000 in his career. Horse kind of stumbled right out of there. Then again, Denny hung in there tight. That'll definitely reflect in his score.
Hops off a Round Top. Denny Hay. Another look at the movement out of the chute there for the horse.
Horse falling down right there. It definitely throws a guy's rhythm off, his timing off. Definitely messes with your concentration. But Denny's hung right in there. He's going to complete the end of the 8-second ride.
Denny Hay with a good ride there. We'll look for his score. And it comes up as 71 here in this second segment. Rain starting to come down here again at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Red Lemmel is up next, riding Blue Mist this afternoon.
Red Lemmel qualified in the for the National Finals Rodeo in 1993. He's currently in the top 20. Would like to improve on that. Has a red shirt on. That kind of goes with his namesake, red. Camaraderie in the sport, very, very apparent. You hear his friends kind of yelling at him in the background. He's tapped off again. As I said, this guy's qualified for the NFR one time. Like to go back and do that again.
Red Lemmel on top of Blue Mist with his ride. We'll take another look at it.
Again, that all-important markout rule. Guy can make a great, great ride. If he doesn't have his feet over the break of the horse's shoulders, gets a no score. Red kind of lifting on that rein, wants to throw the caution to the wind, kind of give that horse his head as he's bucking across the arena.
Red Lemmel comes up with a score of 73 there on his ride. Didn't look terribly happy with that. Jack Nystrom is up next, native of Montana. He's on top of Cut the Cards.
Jack Nystrom qualified 2 times in the National Finals Rodeo in 1988 and also again in 1991. The guy's won over $200,000 in his career. He's a guy that doesn't travel very hard very much, but he's still a top competitor in this event. 2 years ago, I saw this guy make a great ride here at Cheyenne, and they got him at the gate. You know, that's cowboy language for missing the horse out. Would have definitely been in the high 80s, and I'd have loved to have seen him get a ride, score on that ride. I was one of the ones that went, oh man, I couldn't believe it. But he's back again, makes a qualified ride.
We'll not have the high 80s today. A score of 70 for Jack, and I don't know that he's terribly happy with that. Here's a familiar name, Ettbauer. This man is Robert Ettbauer, and he rides Bigtail.
Robert Ettbauer, one of the 3 riding Ettbauer brothers, was Robert, Dan, also Billy. Robert is a 2-time world champion, 1990 and also 1991. He's qualified for the National Finals Rodeo on 6 separate occasions, and he's also won over $650,000 in his rodeo career. Last year, this cowboy won over $78,000 and finished in 6th place for the 1994 World Standings. Would like to go back to the finals again and get that 3rd World Championship buckle.
He makes the whistle aboard Bang Tail. Another look at it.
This guy suffered a very serious injury at the National Western Rodeo in Denver this year. Actually, a real freaky accident. He got his thumb, the end of his thumb was torn off after he stepped off of his saddle bronc horse.
went back out and picked it up, and then he walked over and had it sewn back on later. 76 was his score. Craig Latham is up next.
Craig Latham, he's qualified for the National Finals Rodeo on 5 separate occasions. In 1992, he was actually the runner-up to the World Championship. He'd like to do well here today because this guy has the talent to qualify again and become a world champion sooner or later in his rodeo career.
Craig Latham with a good ride. He's aboard Skoll's Lucky 7.
The thing about it, this guy won over $93,000 in 1994, still did not win that world championship. He's won over $500,000 in his rodeo career, and he's currently in 3rd place in the standings right now.
And an 81 for Craig Latham. 81 puts him in 1st place at this point, and the crowd appreciates the great effort. Craig Latham obviously extremely happy with that ride. Toby Adams is up next, and he is aboard Wolf Boy.
Toby Adams, he's a young guy. In 1991, he was the Rookie of the Year in the saddle bronc riding. Also qualified for the National Finals Rodeo in 1992. He's currently in 12th place in the world standings. He's won over $30,000, and he's got close to actually $200,000 in his rodeo career. One of those young California rides. This guy is going to have definitely a good career in this sport of rodeo. Rides real well, turns his toes out, he sets his feet. There's that mark out rule, holds his feet there for the first jump out of the chutes. Those rodeo judges keeping a close watch on him. He's got a big, strong horse this afternoon.
And he did not get a score.
Okay, apparently did miss the horse out. As I talked about, that all-important mark out rule. Judges watching real close on that. Did make the 8-second whistle, but no score.
On Weed Eater, Tom Reeves from Stephenville, Texas is up next.
This guy is only 30 years old. He's qualified for the National Finals Rodeo 10 separate times. Currently, he's in 4th place in the world standings. He'd like to do good here. He's had a chance to win a world title on a couple different occasions, well down to the last horse at the finals. Didn't quite get it done, so he's another sentimental favorite. You'd like to see win a world championship before his rodeo career is over.
Tom Reeves dismounting from Weed Eater. We'll take a look at his ride once again.
He won over $1,900 in the first go-around. He's won over $760,000 in his rodeo career. Tom, at a time, you can see the rodeo judges are going to actually take away a few points because you got to pick up that timing, reflects in his score.
Yep, of 72, and he's a bit disappointed with that. Tom Reeves' score of 72 will not make much of a dent on Craig Latham. Latham with that great ride of 81, and he is our leader right now. He wins $2,000 for having that great ride of 81 points. Jess Martin behind him at 77, then Robert Etbauer at 76. He wins $1,000, Jess Martin $1,500, and you see the average on 3 now, and Latham having a big day here at Cheyenne.
This money you're seeing on the board right now on your screen, that's just the money that they've won in the average. That doesn't include any of the top money they've won in the previous 2 go-arounds. So Craig Latham's going to get out of Cheyenne with about $9,000.
And we talked about entertainment as this broadcast has gone on. There's some other entertainment. That's the rodeo clowns. They call them the bullfighters. When we come back, we'll take an up-close look at the bullfighters here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We're back here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, 99th annual Cheyenne Frontier Days rodeo competition. We'll get going in just a second here. First of all, we want to tell you about the Rodeo Clowns, an up-close look at the bullfighters here at Cheyenne Frontier Days.
Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey! That's right, man! All right, Scott, anytime. Hey, you okay, buddy? You okay? I got started, in 1974, actually. I got my pro card in 1979, so this is going on about 21 years now. To have a job that I never figured on, to be able to help people and have an adrenaline rush like I get out there, it's an amazing job. You tell the story. Oh, the funnest part's definitely the kids. You know, there's something about a smiling face, and there's something about you putting a smile on a kid's face that it makes it all worth it. The cowboy protection, the cowboy saving is definitely what reaches into my heart and gets me, but that smile on their face is what it's really about. All right, you tell me name. Hey, 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 hey! The teamwork involved in this job is essential. When the teamwork is there, it makes my job twice as easy. Dwayne Hargo is here with me at Cheyenne, and him and I have clicked since the first day we worked together.
This is probably the only rodeo that I work with Rick all year, and when we step into the arena, you know, I know what he's going to do, and he knows what I'm going to do, and we just start clicking, you know. If I get the bull's attention and leading them off in another direction, usually what Rick will do is try to pull the bull off of me, because we got so many bulls to work here that one of us can't afford to get hurt.
I don't mind going out and really extending myself, getting in the worst jam I can, knowing that he's my backup.
Teamwork, that's teamwork.
I'm working with two of the best bullfighters in the nation, Rick Chapman and Dwayne Hargo. The most important thing we do as a team is just be there for one another. I know they'll be there for me. I know that they won't leave me out there, leave me laying, and a bull, you know, come and get in the barrel with me, because it's up to them to move the barrel, maneuver it around so the bull can't get in there with me.
Okay, dude? Come on. I've got a lot of bull riders that are some of my best friends. I try no harder, no less for them than any of the others, but we have a good relationship. It's neat to be able to help them do their job and them appreciate it.
I've certainly owed probably my life many times over, and it's not just my body, you know, for all the times that they'd saved me.
Yeah, they are really important for us, because we need to think, when you are riding, you need to think about your bull, think about your ride. And when end your ride, you trust in bullfights. And after God, they are our guardian angels. And thank you very much for all bullfights, and God bless you.
Hey, 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 hey! Don't touch him. You know, if I quit rodeoing tomorrow, rodeo is not what I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to people, neat people that I get to meet all over the country. There's nothing like being able to have friends anywhere in any state, any town that you go to. And I've got that. It's kind of the most fun part about it.
These rodeo clowns, these bullfighters, don't just run around the arena. They have a job to do, and they do it very, very well. Not only among those three, some great bullfighters, but another client of my partner, Gabe Morris.
Dwayne Hargo, he's another one of my financial investment clients with Marketing and Management Corporation of America.
Calf roping we move to after the first section. Here's the standings. Blair Burke in first place at that time at 13.2. That great ride there. Sean Hollenbeck in second at 14.4. And you see the rest of the field there. Charlie Russell in third. And let's move on to competition. And our first cowboy in calf roping is J.D. Krause from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Again, that 30-foot head start, all important. Cowboy giving the chase, Gonna have to go a long ways to catch the calf just as normal though. Again, steps off that right side, hustles down the rope. Has the option now again, tying any 3 legs. Just a little bit, see all that right there costing him extra precious seconds are going off that time watch right now. He realizes that, he's disappointed.
Yep, J.D. Krause not happy at all with his effort there. Maybe some bad luck along the way as well.
Again, the replay though, the guy's stepping off the right side, hustling down the rope. See, as the calf is actually on his way to the ground, he's reaching for that front leg. That right there definitely cuts off those precious tenths of a second. That can mean the difference in any, in this event, not this event, but other events as well.
And J.D. Krause, 14.6, certainly could have been a lot better. And he rides off somewhat disappointed. Tip the hat to the crowd. And next up is Kyle Kosov, Ogden, Utah.
Kyle, he's qualified a couple times on several different occasions for the Dodge National Circuit Finals Rodeo. In fact, he's actually won that rodeo, so he's done well here at the Dad. He wants to do well at this rodeo. Okay, pitches that slack in the air, hustles down the rope. Now, the job of the horse also very important. Now, he's kind of one of the unsung heroes. Doesn't get a lot of credit, but the Cowboys will tell you the horse is probably about 60–70% of their success in this event.
And Kyle Kosov walking back to his horse, a time of 14.8 for him. And that's not near that 13.2 with our leader from section number 1. Again, this is section number 2. The final's coming up a little bit later. And here's Raymond Hollabach from Texas as well. He'll ride next in the calf roping competition.
This guy doesn't go down the road very much anymore, but he's qualified for the National Finals Rodeo on 5 different occasions, from 1982 to 1985, also in 1990 as well. He's won over $400,000 in his career, and in 1982, he was the Cheyenne Frontier Days champion. So he's done very well in this arena. Wants to come back today and see if he can do it again.
Raymond Hollabach with a good effort there. The crowd appreciates that. Should have a pretty good time coming up here. Gets back to his horse. A look at it again.
Just a little, had a few mistakes there on the ground right there. He tried to flank the calf. Things didn't go real smooth, but he's still trying to make up some precious time.
16.8, a little bit worse time than we thought he might have. And he's, I would say, a little bit disappointed. And here is a man we talked about, the top of the show, Fred Whitfield.
The 1991 world champion calf roper. He was also qualified for the National Finals Rodeo on 5 separate occasions. He's a Rookie of the Year in 1990. He's also the Cheyenne Frontier Days champion in 1990 and 1994. This guy usually seems to just do very well here at the rodeo. He's a reigning Cheyenne Frontier Days champion, very quick on the ground. He messed up with that first rope right there. He threw it away rather than actually go to keep messing with the first rope. He threw that away, went right to his second rope.
Obviously very popular here in Cheyenne.
This guy's won a lot of money in his career. He's actually set the record for the average, too, on 10 calves at the National Finals Rodeo. And notice on the ground, he just a little bit of trouble there on the ground, gets that second rope. He's got both ropes, actually, to tie that calf. I think that's kind of a sigh of relief to say that, hey, he had a chance to mess things up, but he didn't lose his cool and stuck with it.
Fred Whitfield looking at the scoreboard, and the time is 14.1. And the crowd appreciates the effort by Fred Whitfield. This is the man right here. He might be the best in the world at this event.
He's won over $500,000 in his career, and he's currently in 7th place right now in the world standings and moving up fast.
Fred Whitfield trotting off the arena floor here in Cheyenne.
Guy won over $50,000. Won that $50,000 bonus at the Calgary Stampede in 1993, so he's got a bright future, and he's already had a bright future.
We move on here in the calf roping competition. And Tom Owens from Longmont, Colorado is up next.
Guy lives just a few miles away from me. He's the 1994 Mountain State Circuit champion in the calf roping. He's originally from Texas. He's already also had a good week here. He won over $1,800 in the first go-around. A throw and a miss. He's not going to be happy with the results here this afternoon, but he's already won $1,800, so he can't be disappointed with his week here at Cheyenne.
And rope the calf, so we will not have a time. Tom Owens obviously disappointed in that. Longmont, Colorado, just north of Denver, down Interstate 25 here from Cheyenne. We continue with the calf roping competition. Again, this is section number 2. We've already seen section number 1. And our next cowboy is Sean Franklin from House, New Mexico.
Qualified for the National Finals Rodeo in 1993. He's also already had a pretty good week here at Frontier Days. He's actually won $1,700. He's placed in both go-rounds. Think about this guy. He's a young cowboy. He's only 23 years of age, has a bright future in this sport of rodeo. And the reason why I'm sure he didn't qualify for the National Finals in 1994, he just didn't go as hard as some of the other cowboys. Okay, the calf kind of stalls there a little bit now. He wants to make sure that, actually his calf is, there he is. Okay, he comes out now. He didn't want to get too anxious now because he knows that 10-second penalty will definitely put him out of the money in this event. Got a little patient right there, so he had to be patient. I know it's hard to hold that horse in there for that time period. He hustles down the rope, falls down the ground, and that's going to cost him a few extra seconds. He took 2 wraps, though, as I talked about again. 2 wraps, you see him running back to his horse, taking that risk because he knows that calf must stay tied down now for that 6-second time period. So he took the risk, made the 2 wraps, and watch. Okay, strings the front foot, 1, 2. Doesn't just take that usual 3. He hustles back because he knows that 6-second, the calf has to stay tied down.
14.0 for Sean Franklin. A good ride for him and a good time.
And risk paid off.
Risk did pay off there. Scored the time to beat is 13.2. That is a very good one. David Dolman Jr. is riding next here from Allen, Oklahoma.
This guy finished in 19th in the world standings in 1994, won over $40,000. Already has had an amazing week here at Cheyenne. He's placed in both go-rounds. He's already won over $10,600. If he does a good run here today, he could add a lot more money to his pocket. Already having a great week. He could even double that if he has a great run here this afternoon. Hustles down the rope, though. He stayed in that box now because he didn't want to break that barrier. He's basically just going to make a safe run. See how all the time he took on that calf? After each wrap, he pulled it tight, pulled it tight, pulled it tight. Not going to take any risk on that calf getting up. He knows there's a lot of money right now on this next 6-second time period.
David Dolman Jr. just making, as Abe said, a safe ride right here.
Okay, hustles down. He made a good solid catch. Now watch this tie. He's not going to really go as fast as some of the other guys. 1 wrap, tight. 2 wraps, tight. 3 wraps, no risk involved in this. He knows that, that average is going to pay over $6,000. No chances with this guy.
David Dolman, 15.4. As Abe mentioned, he was conservative with that ride. Comes up with 15.4 and a tip of the hat to the crowd who appreciates the effort here at Cheyenne. Great crowds on hand again this year, 99th annual Cheyenne Frontier Days. Short goal results here in calf roping. Blair Burke with a 13.2 wins $1,800, a little bit over that for his effort. Fred Whitfield turns out that second place ride with 14.1 wins $1,575 as a result. Average on 3 now, $9,800 from David Dolman, despite that very conservative ride right there. 38.9 is his average on 3. Fred Whitfield, he is in 3rd right now. Look for him to make a move as well.
Is that right?
We'll come back to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Beautiful Wyoming. Great scenery in this state. Just a gorgeous area. And stay with us. We'll come back to Cheyenne after these messages. see there some wild scenes of the wild horse race, what they call here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We saw the chuck wagon, the Thunderbirds, the Indian Village. There's all kinds of entertainment up here in Cheyenne. 99th daddy of them all. Let's move on to competition again, steer wrestling. After section number 1, section 2 coming up here, but after section number 1, Todd Soon, the leader, 9.4. And Tim Segelke in second place at 11.3. One of the steer wrestlers we'll see in this section is Oat Berry, 3-time world champion. Let's get to know him a little better.
My name's Oat Berry, 32 years old, from Chicago, Oklahoma. There's a lot of wrecks and a lot of spills. It's kind of like car racing. People go to see the wrecks, and I think that's why they like the steer wrestling here at Cheyenne. It took me a long time to learn how to do it. I was pretty clumsy as a kid, and it probably took me longer than most, but maybe that's why I worked at it so much harder and give it 100% every time and try your best, and that's all you can hope for. I got hurt a little bit last year, and it really makes it sweeter this year. You appreciate a lot more coming back after an injury to be back on top again. You know, I just like to be looked on as one of the, you know, if they look back, say, you know, he was a good steer wrestler, but he was a good old boy too.
3-time world champion Oat Berry as a steer wrestler, and he's going to be our first cowboy riding here in the steer wrestling competition. Again, this is the second section. We've already seen the first section. And there he is wearing the tag at number 79, Oat Berry from Oklahoma.
Cowboy's originally from Nebraska. He's won over $800,000 in his career, closing in fast on that $1 million mark. In 1991, one of the years that he won one of his world championships, he won over $116,000, which is a PRCA, which is Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association single season record. Going a long ways now. That hazer, his job is to keep that steer running in a straight motion for the cowboy to actually come down to get the good solid catch on that steer.
Nice round of applause for Oat Berry, very personable man, as you probably saw there in the interview. Another look.
Okay, now he must stop the steer, he must change directions, and then what he does is he twists him, has to make sure all 4 feet are pointing in the same direction before the flag man will actually drop his flag. The time becomes official.
10.4 his time. Oat Berry, got to be pretty pleased with that. Second cowboy here in steer wrestling, Todd Bogust, wearing number 98 this afternoon.
Had a good week here this week. He's won already over $4,800. He won first place in the first go-around. That won him over actually $4,800. He's currently in 9th place in the Crown Royal World Standings. Cowboy would like to definitely improve on that. He's sitting in a good position going into the National Finals Rodeo. These guys get to going pretty fast before they finally actually catch those steers. That's like what Oat talked about. You see a lot of wrecks here in the steer wrestling event here at Cheyenne Frontier Days.
That seemed pretty quick there for Todd Bogust, and he's happy with it. Crowd likes it as well.
Usually in this event, you'll notice most of the steer wrestlers usually are the bigger guys. It's kind of a big man's event. That's why in the other events, like the rough stock events, the riding events, the guys are usually a little bit smaller.
And 9.6, we were right, a good time for Todd Bogust. He comes off the infield and in pretty good shape. And our third rider is Marvin DuBose.
Cowboy comes to us from Texas. Taking a good long look at that steer. Okay, that 30-foot head start's already gone. Now look at these guys. They get to going blazing fast. He's caught the steer. Now he must stop him. That's why I said it takes a bigger man. Right there, a big man and a strong man. It's a finesse event. It's also a strength event. A lot of technique involved in this event.
And Marvin DuBose does not at all look happy with what just happened to him.
Came in sitting 4th into the average, and he breaks that barrier. That's a 10-second penalty added to his time. That's going to take him completely out of the go-around and also out of the total money for the average.
Marvin DuBose exiting the arena, and he is not a happy cowboy right now. We move on in the steer wrestling competition. And our next cowboy up, he's number 589, as you can see the tag on his back. And that is Jason Lair from Emporia, Kansas.
Cowboy didn't go down the road very much last year. He still finished in the top 100 cowboys. Just one of those cowboys that stayed pretty close to home. Again, he's going to be real careful now. Doesn't want to break that barrier. He knows that 10-second penalty is going to cost him a lot of money. Makes a safe, conservative run, but he's lost his feet. That's going to cost him a few extra seconds. Regains his feet. He's got the steer. Okay, all 4 feet have to be shown before that flag man will drop that flag. Okay, notice in the replay now, the job of that hazer, keep that steer running in a straight line. Kind of loses his feet there. Steer's head goes into the ground. That costs him a few extra seconds. Regains his feet. He's got, as fast as he can get onto his feet and get that steer down, the more money he's going to win in this event.
12.7 the time for Jason Lair from Emporia, Kansas. Comes off with a dirt chunked on his face. We continue, and Jimmy Ferguson is up next.
Guy's already won over $2,000. He finished 5th place in the first go-round. That paid him over $2,000. The go-rounds in each one of these, there's two go-rounds, and each go-round pays $4,000, pretty close to $5,000. So the guy that actually comes in, does well in either go-round, also does well in the average, can walk away with over $10,000 in any of these events here at Cheyenne. There's a lot of money up for grabs, and it's kind of like the National Finals Rodeo, so to speak, kind of basically comes through here. Everybody that wants to go to the finals definitely enters this rodeo and wants to do well. Now right there is what you call Cowboy. He had one of the legs caught up, and the flagman will not drop that flag until all 4 legs are pointed in one direction. Just a little bit of trouble on the ground there. And the Cowboy realizes that too. So what he's trying to do now is get himself into position and get that steer into position so that all 4 legs in the same direction. Once he's done that, he knows his job is done.
Going to cost him some time. He'll end up with a 13.1, Jimmy Ferguson does. Got the steer down quickly, but didn't get those 4 legs up in time. And here's Lee J. Graves from Canada.
Cowboy had a good week here. He won 4th place in the first go-around, and that paid him almost $3,000, over $2,900. So he knows he's coming in first in the average. If he makes a good solid run here, placing in the average, take a lot of money home back to his home state. Having just a little bit of trouble there. You missed the nose is what they call that Cowboy language. Had to go back and regroup himself. Now he's got that steer facing all 4 legs in one direction. Had just a little bit of trouble on the ground. Not going to be happy.
Bit of scowl on his face as he gets up, and his time is 15.8. As I mentioned, a bit of trouble on the ground there for Lee Graves. And here's the short goal results here in the steer wrestling competition. Todd Soon with a 9.4 wins $1,178. Todd Bogus after him, and Oat Berry, the man we featured in 3rd, wins $871 plus. And the average on 3, Todd Bogus there, the 30.7 on the average, 5,000, a little bit more than that. His winnings on the average on 3. Again, that's just part of the total here in the competition at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We'll come back with some barrel racing. We'll get to the Cowgirls in just a moment. Stay with us here on Prime Sports. Jim and Abe Morris back here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. 99th annual Cheyenne Frontier Days, the one they call the daddy of them all. Well, we're getting tired of these cowboys. We're going to move on to the women here, the cowgirls. It's time for barrel racing, and here's the score on 2 in the barrel racing competition. And Judy Reed is our leader, 35.05. Again, this is a crisp competition here, and we'll get to some of these cowgirls in just a second as you see the standings after the score on 2. First up, Sherry Potter Servey from Arizona.
She's currently #1 in the world standings. She's won well over $74,000 this year. She's on a roll. She's been hot all spring. In fact, she's been hot this entire 1995 year. She's on her way to try to hopefully win her first world championship. The only person actually standing in her way would be Christy Peterson. But she's had a great year, and I look for these two women to battle it out to the last go-around at the National Finals Rodeo.
See Christy Peterson here in a second. The time for Sherry Potter's survey is 17.35. Nice round of applause from the fans here at Cheyenne. They are very appreciative of these great cowboys and cowgirls and their efforts. And here she is, Christy Peterson, Elbert, Colorado.
She's riding the famous horse Bozo. She's actually the world champion. She's the reigning world champion, 1994 world champion. Currently in second place in this event. She's won over $53,000. She's also she's won the Dodge National Circuit Finals Rodeo. And she's going to go on, like I said before. I look for Christy Peterson and Shelley to battle it out this year for the World Championship.
17.51, the time for Christy Peterson there. We're going to take a look at just 3 cowgirls here. And here's the third, Sue Miller from Lott, Texas.
Sue Miller, she's currently in 8th place in the world standings. This women's barrel racing, it's a race against the clock as well as against each other. They ride a cloverleaf pattern around 3 barrels. It's something, we can definitely get excited for. It's an event of just, these ladies ride some really fast horses. And it's not just the horses, it's also the cowgirls too. If they don't ride, if they ride well, it's just like in the other events. It takes a kind of chemistry to actually go to the top of the pay window in this event, as in the other events as well.
Sue Miller completes hers at 17.49. She mentioned just 3 women we'll take a look at here in the barrel racing competition. And here's how it shuffled out. The short go results, Sherry Potter with that 17.35 wins almost $2,000 as a result. Lynette Clyde, we didn't see her, but she comes in second place. Average on 3. There's Sherry Potter's survey with a total of 4,500 plus. She wins. Christy Peterson in second place. Stay with us, folks. We'll come back to Cheyenne, Wyoming. We've got the final section of the bull riders. Please stay with us. beautiful outdoor arena here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, the site of the 99th annual Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo. And the competition continues. We're getting back to bull riding now. This is our second section coming up here. Here's the results after section 1 with Todd Owens leading with 78. Chad Brennan after that at 76. Chad Klein with 75. One of the names you don't see, Gilbert Carrillo, one of the top bull riders in the world. We had a chance to catch up with him.
My name's Gilbert Carrillo. I'm 23 years old. I live in Stephenville, Texas. I have a twin brother named Adam, and he's also 23, and he lives in Stephenville, Texas, too. Adam and I got a little place, a little ranch there in Stephenville that we bought 2 years ago. Adam and I started riding bulls at the age of 13. It's the thrill, you know. It's, if you grab a normal fan and set him on a bull's back, you can probably take his pulse rate, and he'll probably be 10 times as fast as he was sitting up in the stands. He'll probably be nervous, probably be scared, and that's I guess they call it that natural rush, the thrill, because it's very dangerous. Not everybody can do it, and being in this type of profession, you are going to have some type of injuries, bumps and bruises, stitches.
Gilbert told us in this interview that his love of the sport drove him past the threat of danger and injuries. He was right. We found out Korea was right about the danger of the sport. In fact, on this ride earlier in the week, he actually broke his leg. But still, he remains true to his sport.
You know, I come back and start riding bulls again, and they always ask, why do you do that? You know, you're crazy. Well, I guess I am crazy, but I love the sport so much. I love riding bulls. I love what I'm doing.
Gilbert Carrillo, broken leg early in the competition, is out now in the competition, but he does remain true to the sport of bull riding. And now we're going to get back to bull riding here at the competition at the Daddy Mall. And first up is DJ Vaughn. He's riding bull number 913, owned by Hal and Pete Burns.
Guy's on a roll. He won first at Calgary Stampede a few weeks ago, won over $7,300. Finished the 1994 standings in 22nd, won over $37,000. And he tied for second in the second go-around, won over $2,900. He's from Arkansas. He's a protege of the great bull rider Danny Flynn. Been taught very well by that cowboy. Not going to be there this afternoon. That bull 913 has a lot of action. He is a very athletic bull. Notice in the replay now, that bull actually, okay, see the DJ, he rides right-handed. That bull turning back to the left. He's not going to be there, kind of just beat him around the corner. That's just bull riders' language for not being there when the bull turns back.
No score for DJ Vaughn, limps off the arena floor. We move next to Raymond Wessel. He is riding bull called JF, owned by Harry Vold.
This guy's the 1994 reigning champion here of Cheyenne Frontier Days, won over $9,000 at this rodeo last year. I was glad to see him qualify for his first national finals rodeo last year. In 1990, he was on a roll, and then he ended up 16th in the world, did not qualify for his first national finals. He's one of only 3 men to actually ride Mr. T, and in 1994, he won over $84,000. Back to defend his title. Not going to be there. What happened again? Cowboy language. The bull beat him around the corner. Again, he didn't have a good seat when that bull turned back, bucked him off.
Take a look at it again.
Okay, notice in the replay now, Raymond kind of gets him tilted into his hand, and that bull just basically he's just out of timing and just not there when that bull turned back.
Disappointment with Raymond Wessel. No score for him as he's bucked off before the 8 seconds. The third cowboy, J.W. Hart, is riding a bull called VF, owned by Charlie Battles.
This guy's a young cowboy. He's been on a roll lately. Seems like in all the major rodeos he's been there to get some of their money. He won over $1,000 in the first go-around. Last year, this guy suffered a broken neck at a Bull Riders Only event in Denver, Colorado. He sat out for about 8 weeks, and then he came right back, and he's on a tear right now. This guy has a very, very bright future in this sport of rodeo. As long as he can stay healthy, he'll definitely qualify for one of the national finals rodeos sometime in his career. Okay, this bull's VF for Charlie Battles. Now, he's got a good ride going. He's loosening up. It's what you call kicking loose. Look at that ride now. That guy right there looked like he might have gotten jerked down, but hey, he stuck right in there. Made a good ride. That guy has a lot of athletic ability. He's not very big, just about perfect size for a bull rider. Notice in the replay now, the bull jumping and kicking. He's turning back. He's right there. He's got a good seat, so the bull's not going to beat him around the corner. Then the bull jumps out of it, says, hey, I'm going to go back the other way. Kind of tilted him into his hand a little bit. Solid ride. Steps off. Happy cowboy.
J.W. Hart, a real happy cowboy. He's whirling and twirling that hat up in the air. A score of 78. Fist in the air is pumped. He's happy about what just happened to him as a bull rider. J.W. Hart. We move on now. Rodney Lidgard. He is riding bull number 18. It's called the Sports Machine, owned by Pete and Hal Burns again.
Rodney Lidgard on his way to the National Finals Rodeo in 1993 and suffered a broken leg right here at the Daddy of them all. At the time, he was actually sitting in 3rd place in this event, so that cost him his first trip to the National Finals Rodeo. He's got a good ride going so far on the Bull Sports Machine. Kind of blew him out of there. The judges carry a stopwatch, and Rodney looks like that reaction. He's looking at the judge right now. Judge tells him no score. Disappointed cowboy.
Rodney Lidgard with no score because he did not beat the 8 seconds. That was awfully close. He's not at all happy. He'll head out with some disappointment. Competition continues. There's triumph and there's certainly disappointment here in rodeo, and there's example. Next up is Aaron Seamus. And Aaron riding bull number 121. Charlie Battles owns 121.
Aaron Seamus has qualified 4 times to the National Finals Rodeo. Had a good week here so far. He won the first go-around, won over $5,000. I'd like to add a little bit more. I should say a lot more to his pocket. There's a good bull ride. That bull turned it back away from Aaron's hand. He is making a good solid ride, kicking loose. That bull making some rounds. That is what we like to see. Great bull ride. Like to see that. Like to see it.
Crowd loves it as well. They know that's a tremendous ride. And so does Aaron Seamus. Hat flown up in the air, arms in the air as well. That's a fantastic ride for Aaron Seamus. We'll take a look at it.
Aaron's been fighting a few injuries this year, not in the top 20. That ride there, coupled with what he's won in the first go-around, should put him back in the hunt to go back to the National Finals Rodeo for a 5th time. That bull spinning away from his hand. Now notice Aaron staying real close to that bull, just making the ride, making moves that aren't too big. That's a great ride. That's what we like to see here at the Daddy of them all. He should get a good score.
Yeah, absolutely. 85 for Aaron Seamus, and high fives from some of the other competitors here in rodeo. Terry West is up next. Terry Don is riding bull number W20. Harry Vold owns the bull.
Not very many people knew very much about Terry Don West until he started going to the Bull Riders Only events. He's won over $100,000 at the Bull Riders Only event. The guy right now is the hottest bull riding going. Looks like he took a rough fall. Now notice in the replay now, he's not quite there, but hey, he's already had a good week, won over $5,000. He's right now 1st in the world. He wouldn't even got on that bull. He's got a hip injury. Tough break for Terry Don.
You see a lot of pain. Looks like might be coming from the hip right there for Terry Don. Helped off. And Tough Hedeman is up next from Bowie, Texas. And Tough riding bull number 1. Double down. Hank Franzen owns the bull.
Tough Hedeman, 3-time world champion, 10 times at the National Finals Rodeo, has won over $1 million in his career. In 1993, he suffered a serious neck injury at the National Finals Rodeo, sat out all of 1994. He's back with a vengeance. And again, when Tough getting on that bull, Lane Frost has to be in the back of his mind. He's making a good super ride there. Tough Hedeman riding bulls better than ever right now. Good solid ride. He has got to be excited, emotional, and everybody's got to feel for Tough.
Tough Hedeman getting a great round of applause from the fans here. A lot of them know the story of his relationship with his old lost buddy, and here's a replay of his ride.
Tough Hedeman, he's probably the best known bull rider right now in the world going. He's making a solid ride. Doctors told him not to come back and compete in this sport anymore. He's won a lot of money this year, and he's riding us better than ever. Could add another world championship. It's going to go down to the wire between him and Terry Don West for the world championship in '95.
Score to beat in this section is 85 and 82 for Tough Hedeman. 82, and he likes what he sees from the judges here. And he climbs onto the arena floor.
Very emotional moment here for Tough Hedeman. There's George Michael. We were all here in 1989 when Lane Frost got killed. Glad to see Tough Hedeman got past that, won the bull riding here. Very happy for him.
And here are those short goal results. Aaron Seamus with that 85 wins, $2,400. And here's the average on 3. Tough Hedeman with almost $7,700, but that's not always going to win.
Actually, he's going to win over $14,000 here for the week, and Aaron Seaman's going to collect well over $13,000 in the bull riding.
And we had a chance after his ride to talk to Tough Hedeman.
There's no greater feeling in the world to come back and do what I did. I mean, coming here, I've certainly got mixed feelings about coming here. Just the past is the past, but it never was really my fondest rodeo. And I knew today, it's been a long time since I really wanted to win something this bad. And I've won most of the major rodeos, and to never win this one, and then to come back and win it today for him, there's no greater feeling in the world. Not even close.
Obviously, the man, the cowboy, feeling awfully good, thinking about his old friend and winning at the same time. You heard him say he wanted this one very bad, and he got it. We'll come back with some final thoughts about the 99th annual Daddy of Mole, the Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo, after this. Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo on Prime Sports has been brought to you by Wyoming Division of Tourism. Wyoming, like no place on earth. The competition in rodeo has ended today here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Jerry Schimmel, Abe Morris back with you here in Cheyenne. And Abe, let's talk about the events today. First of all, let's talk about calf roping and a great effort today by David Dolman.
David Dolman came into the short round winning the average. He'd already won over $10,500 here this week. Made a really safe run. He comes through actually, and he's going to take home over $20,500 now. Marty Jones won over $20,000 a couple years ago, but as far as a single event, that's a record here at Frontier Days.
Great saddle bronc competition this afternoon, and Craig Latham makes it to the top.
Yeah, he did. Craig Latham, he actually finished second a couple years ago to Dan Mortensen for the world title, and now winning here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, winning all that money, is going to put him back on the record, back on the trail, so to speak, to go to the national finals and maybe win his first world title.
We talked about him before the show started in the bull riding competition. Terry Don West, a somewhat disappointing day today.
Yeah, but Terry Don West won the second go-around and won over $5,000 here, so he really can't be disappointed. Although he bucked off today, you know, Terry Don West, he's the all-time money winner, leading money winner at the Bull Riders Only Series. He's won over $100,000 in that event as well. So, you know, he's still #1 for the world title. I look for him and Tough Heatum to battle it out for the rest of the year.
There are a lot of folks around here, and I think really across the country, who feel pretty good about what Tough Hedeman did today.
Yeah, like I said before, 1989 was the year that Lane Frost got killed here. You know, it was a very devastating moment for all of us, and especially Tough being his traveling partner. It was kind of a great ending, you know. Tough comes up to bat. It's like the 9th inning. You know, the slugger's up to bat. He hits a grand slam. It was a very, very fitting end to this entire rodeo.
This is a great event, just like we thought it would be this 99th year. Next year, of course, number 100. There's rumors of a lot more money going out to these cowboys, so number 100 next year should be a lot of fun as well. That's going to do it from Cheyenne Frontier Days. For Abe Morris, I'm Jerry Schemmel saying so long from Cheyenne Frontier Days in Cheyenne, Wyoming.